Hi, good morning everyone. Today here to explain about chapter 7 ICT Skills 1. Explaining topics are row, what is booting process, 6 main steps for booting process, 6 types of row, unit of memory. Now today we learn about row. Row stands for read only memory. A type of a memory collected can read data stored in row can neither be modified nor removed. The primary use of row is during the booting process. What is booting process? The booting process, the procedure of starting up a computer and loading the operating system into a memory. Now let's go about 6 main steps for booting process. The 6 main steps for booting process is power on, BIOS, UEFI and post. Booting device selection, bootloader, loading OS kernel, system configuration, user authentication, log. So in power on, we learn about press the power button, send electricity to PC. BIOS and UEFI and post. BIOS stands for basic input and output. UEFI stands for Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Post stands for power on, self-test. These three helps in starts and runs. A quick check post. An essential hardware like RAM, keyboard, drives to ensure they work. And next we learn about booting device selection and bootloaders. BIOS UEFI finds the storage device like hardware on SSD. SSD transforms for solid state drive with operating system and loads the bootloaders. Do you know about bootloaders? Now let's learn about bootloaders. A program that loads an operating system when a computer is turned on. Window Boot Manager grub into memory. Grub full form stands for Grand Unified Bootloader. Loading the OS kernel. OS kernel be the bootloader, then load the OS kernel, the core of the OS into the main memory RAM. The loading of the OS kernel is stored in a RAM, which says that the core of the OS is the operating system. The system configurations, the kernel starts utilizing hardware, loading drives and running essential system, service and background program. User authentication. User authentication means the login screen appears, allowing the user to ensure their username and password to access the system. Now 6 main types of booting process have been completed. Now we go 6 types of ROMs. 6 types of ROMs are here. PROM, Programmable Read-Only Memory. EPROM, Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory. EEPROM, Electronical Erasable Programmable Read-Only Memory. And Flash Memory, External Memory and Secondary Memory. PROM is known as a programmer provides faster and less expensive process for storing only program like coding, HTML, JavaScript, algorithms in it. I have made a short about artificial intelligence with the tutorial points. The tutorial points which comes in coding HTML and JavaScript algorithms. It helps to make and EPROM is known as it can be erased and reprogrammable reading. With specialized software, the content stored in a chip by exposing it into ultraviolet rays. EEPROM. The chip can be erased and reprogrammed in block instead of one byte at a time. It also contains selective removable arrays, particular data by data, erasing it completely. Flash memory is an example of EEPROM, a fast non-lengthy digital storage types that keeps data even without power using floating gate transistors to trap electrons. Now let's go about unit of memory. Bytes is a group of 4 bytes, group of 8 bytes, kilobytes. 1 kilobytes is equal to 1024 kilobytes. Megabytes is equal to 1 MB is equal to 1024 kilobytes. Gigabytes 1 GB is equal to 1024 megabytes. Terabytes 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 GB. Metabyte 1 BB is equal to 1024 EB. Exabyte 1 EB is equal to 1024 PB. Zettabyte is equal to 1 JB is equal to 1024 EB. Note 1024 is equal to 2 power n. Now the last process of procedure for shutting down computer. If a program contains unsaved data, first we should promote to save it. All the open applications program get closed, then the operating system shut down by closing its programs, services and process. The